Cool, that's the fun that I've done. Welcome to the Telecreations thing. Not many videos on this list, so let's just... films, not many films on this list. Oh boy. Why didn't I drink coffee this morning? Okay, so, hello, welcome. Today I'm talking about 4K transfers. What are they? Where do they come from? How do you kill them? I don't know. Pretty simply put, a 4K transfer is not the traditional 4K like so. So, of course, you got traditional 4K UHD, like Mad Max Fury Road. However, there is often a time, usually due to budget, where a film is mastered in 4K, so of course, 4,000 pixels, I don't know. And then is transferred instead of onto a 4K disc where they can add in the UHD effects, they put it onto a 1080p Blu-ray. Does that sound like it defeats the purpose? Kind of, but not really. It's more or less looking for the highest quality possible version of a film, but you can't afford a 4K Blu-ray player or 4K TV. So instead you just go for the 4K version on a Blu-ray, which is actually still really goddamn good. Usually depends on the film, but it's pretty mint. So I'm going to run through the ones that I have without turning around a lot. Yeah, so I'm just going to bring them all to you. Let's take a look. Yo, okay, so first thing I'm going to add, these are only 4K ones. These are not 2Ks. I have a small handful of 2K masters, which is definitely when you don't have the budget to do a 4K, but you have the budget to do a 2K. A lot of them are Criterion ones. I'm not going to be like, oh, look at the 2K, it's so good, because nobody really cares about 2K. It's not a sellable thing, like, in terms of, like, cinephiles will give a shit, because we do, but, like, normal people who are just buying movies will be like, what's the point? I guess. Like, there's no selling point. So, let's start. We're starting in alphabetical order, which is weird, because I've got a completely different alphabetical. So, my alphabetical starts with Argento. Dario Argento, with 3 of his films, including The Bird of the Crystal Plumage. Plumage, yeah, that's the one. So, this is presented by Arrow Video, and they do a lot of, they're like the British version of Criterion, but a lot cheaper. And usually still as good. They're not as good as in the special features department, but depends on the film. For example, this contains a lot of special features, like they've usually got a couple things. So they have, obviously, you got your front cover, you can open it up, and you've got your reversible cover, which they have, which they have there. So they have the reversible cover if you prefer to have the reversible cover, and of course then they have their selling points by having miniature posters, and on the back you've got all the other posters. And of course this tells you what the detail is, so it tells you what the film is and all that, who's in it, whatever. And then it goes special edition contents. Focus camera, there you go, special edition content, and the first line there reads, brand new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, produced exclusively for this release. So sometimes you have the director doing it, sometimes you have, not exactly doing it, like the company, Arrow and Criterion, sometimes other ones, make their version, and with the assistance of the original director or the cinematographer. Usually a lot of Akira Kurosawa films are done by the original cinematographer or the son of, how to say. The idea is to get the appropriate look that actually fits what the film was meant to look like, or appeared like in theatres. Secondly, I think if we're going alphabetical, then yeah, we have my favourite 4K of all of these, and that would be, why do they grab all of them? So it's just confusing me now. Suspiria. So, Arrow Video do a really clever thing where they have a Region B, because they're British, so people in Australia can watch it on their TVs. Because Blu-ray regions, Region A for America, Region B for Australia and Europe, and Region C for Asia. Yeah. Don't ask me about DVDs. Because that's much more, there's a lot more reasons. So yeah, I got this. This is the 2-disc Blu-ray edition. Honestly, this is a region A, which annoys me. But it's a beautiful 4K restoration. They actually, I think it's in Australia, Umbrella did it, which is probably identical to this, of course. It's just they produced it in Australia, and I did not know about that, but I'm like, oh, but this has 2 discs, and it's thin in comparison. And of course, it has your 2 discs, it has your original artwork, which I adore the original artwork. I don't mind the artwork that is for this one. This one's very much more goofy, and it's still pretty cool. Like, look at that, that's still pretty rad. This film is amazing. It looks gorgeous. It's from the 35mm negative, and the film was actually, yeah, and it was actually, yeah, with color correction supervised and approved by Superior Director of Photography. See, the DOP knows their shit. But yeah, this was a Technicolor film, one of the last Technicolor films, and that makes it even more attractive. So if you're in Australia, like, go to JB, you know, they've got it there. They've got the one that looks better. I think it's just a 1-disc version. I got it for a friend for a birthday recently. But still, I'm very sure it's the exact same version. It just probably doesn't have as many special features, which you probably don't need if you just want to watch the film. Yeah. Next up, we have the final Argento film. Not my final Argento film, but the final one. That's a 4K. It's a Deep Red. And that's the cover. So again, this is another Arrow Video one. And that's the original cover. That's the original poster. A doll and a dead person. Sellable, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to give you my opinion on these films unless I really want to. I haven't actually seen Birds of the Crystal Plumage. Suspiria I've seen almost 3 times, probably 3 times now. I love it. I love the bits. Deep Red I've seen once, still quite fun. There we go. This is a Criterion, Region B, yeah boy, Carnival of Souls. It is a weird-ass film, but it looks like it was filmed yesterday. It's so goddamn crisp. So of course Criterion, this is from 1962, again, looks like it was filmed yesterday. Criterion, I preferred their releases a bit. Usually they're all Region A because it's all American versions, but they come with creepy-ass stuff. They sometimes go overboard with their special features, which is what makes Criterion just that bit better than an Arrow. Again, they're pretty much identical. This is from Criterion. It's a poster, but at the same time, it's also an essay, which is one way to sell a film. Yeah, so they do that kind of stuff where they will add those extra little booklets with essays and stuff. It's a part of their gimmick. It works a lot of the time. I've read a few of the essays. It depends on which ones they are. Like, I've read pretty much just the David Lynch ones. I'll be getting to the actual 4K UHD ones in probably December, when I've gotten the ones that I'm really keen on. Because that'll be might be like a yearly thing, or 6 monthly thing, depends. So, like, for example, I'm going to get this on 4K soon, but this is the Region A version of Escape New York, which is a collector's edition, which is done by Scream Factory, same thing. But that's a 2K transfer, rather than a 4K, which is when we're going to get to our next film, which is, yeah, The Thing, another John Carpenter film. I have his whole collection back here. I love John Carpenter. John Carpenter. Yeah, so this one didn't... It said it came with a booklet, so I was kind of falsely advertised to when I bought it, which annoyed me. Like, I was expecting a poster and everything. Nope, instead it's just a 4K transfer. You still got the reversible cover. And it is a gorgeous film, and... I think it's my favourite Carpenter film. Wow, I forgot about that. So I got really big into Jackie Chan this year, and so I bought a bunch of his films, So this is a Eureka. They're kind of another version of... They're another one of those people that they have their Masters of Cinema series, which again they do a lot of remasters and whatever. This is the 4K transfer master of Drunken Master, pretty much the film that made Jackie Chan properly famous, and it comes with 2 discs. I think it's DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah, DVD and Blu-ray, and it comes with a booklet as well. As seen here, the booklet. It's very detailed. Got some nice comic art and essays and stuff. Yeah, no, I would highly suggest this film if you ever get around to it. It has its original Cantonese, the soundtrack and audio, which I still think is the way to watch it, because it's a Hong Kong film, but you can still listen to the English dub, I believe. Yeah, it has an English option. Usually, most of the time when it's a Jackie Chan film, Jackie Chan actually comes in to do his voice in English for the English version. It's kind of weird, but it's good. Okay. Police Story 1 and 2. These came out only recently, maybe 2 months ago. And they're both 4Ks. They come in this box, again, from Eureka. And you've got Police Story 1 and Police Story 2. Jackie Chan acted and directed both of these. He co-wrote them, if I'm not wrong. I don't really think there's much in terms of what you get inside the box, like inside the case. Okay, so they come with their own booklets. Again, I don't need to show you. You know, you get the gist. I have a Brian De Palma collection. Carrie, another Arrow video, another 4K master. This one also comes with a booklet as well. It comes with the original artwork as well. I really like the remake, the redone artwork, the recommissioned one. You got the original artwork as well, which is pretty much what I really love about Arrow, that they give you, sometimes they give you these mini booklets, but they always give you the original. Like, they always commission to get new artwork, which is the thing, I prefer the original, but the redone artwork is really cool. And this one is another one that really stands strong as its own one. They pretty much always get really good alternative cover art. Oh. Okay, I was about to get It's a Mad World, which is a Criterion, but I actually have this comes first. The Hills Have Eyes, Wes Craven's one of his most famous films. This is a limited edition box set. Region A, unfortunately. Got it from Minotaur. Very hard to get. That's why I got it from Minotaur. You got your booklet, which is pretty good, actually. Really nicely designed. Has a whole lot of detail in it. Like, this is like a 60-page booklet. You got a double-sided poster, which is pretty much just that, with extra stuff. It's a 4K master of the film, and it's also got its own stuff. Like, it's got a whole range of art cards. So this is, like I said, limited edition, really good. Like, this cost me a pretty penny. This was maybe $50. 50 Australian dollars, maybe almost 60. But you get the box, you get the booklet, you get the film in 4K, you've got the poster, and you got all these art cards, which on the reverse you have the eyes. And so you just got, like, all these different art cards, and they're really cool. Like, this is, like, a lot of detail has been put into this box set, and a lot of the times you can argue, what's the point of getting art cards when they're just stills from the movie? Yes. If it's just that, it's worthless. Like, I've got Chinatown, and that just has, it's like, oh, exclusive art card. It's just a still from the movie. But no, this one is 100% worth it. If you're interested in Wes Craven, if you're interested in, like, really, really interested in horror, I'd suggest getting this one. It's really good. And of course, I love his Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream franchise, so, you know. So yeah, this is conveniently also Region B. This is a 4K transfer, at least of the digital release. The new high definition, it's got a new high definition transfer for the extended 197-minute version. I've only seen the 4K version because it's like 132 minutes compared to the Maybe it's 163 minutes compared to the 197-minute one, and they still have footage that they're missing because it was all shot in 70mm. Great film, classic. That's how I know it's a 4K, because it actually says it on the back. Criterion and Arrow always say if it's a 4K master or not. Killer Clowns, anyone from outer space? 4K master. Extraordinarily, like, look, that's flashy as shit. Like, it's a gorgeous cover art. Another Arrow video classic. Recently came out a few months ago, I believe. Or at least this year, maybe last year. And not much else to it. You've got a poster and a booklet. And you've got the original artwork, of course. That's the one thing that Criterion never does. They never really reprint old. They always continue with the classic, what's known of artwork. You know, the iconic artwork. They never really redo it. Okay, so I've got like 5 Kurosawa films, and interestingly, only one is a 4K, and it's Ran. I haven't seen this one. Dad watched it recently, and this is Region B. He said it was really good, but it's a Shakespeare one, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, 2-disc edition. This is just what you'd get averagely from England in terms of the rating system. Not much special to it except for like the cover or whatever. It's just the film and special features. I think the next one is, yeah. Wait, what? No, really? I might have been wrong. Okay, so Throne of Blood is a 2K master, but this one is Kurosawa's Dreams, which is the first Kurosawa film I ever watched and ever bought. It's Region A, and it's 4K, and it's Criterion, and it is gorgeous. And I've watched it twice now. It comes with a whopper of a booklet, like, really big. I watched it twice because I watched it earlier when I first got it, but then I watched it again because I had to for a assignment, actually. I reviewed it for an assignment. Next up is one of the most famous films for a 4K master, Lawrence of Arabia. Confuses me why there isn't a UHD, but apparently this is just one of those almost, like, actually pretty much perfect 4Ks. I've only skimmed through scenes with Dad when we first got the 4K working. It's a 2-disc edition. I literally just bought it at JB, like, I bought it over a month ago. But yeah, I've heard that, because we've got the DVD version of this, because it's like a long film. Oh, it's only 3 hours and 47 minutes. What I thought it was like 2 hours. It's long. But yeah, this is the 4K master. This actually says it is a 4K restoration. It actually advertises that on the back of it, which is rare. Usually, like, DVDs that you can get at JB don't say that. You know, it's rare that they ever do. But if it's like an iconic film or something that they like a note it, like, boom, you gotta watch it because it's 4K. Yeah. Okay, so now for my favorite David Lynch, Eraserhead. I didn't actually know that this was a 4K until I started looking, and I was like, oh, what? So yeah, this is his debut feature, David Lynch's debut feature. It's his strangest film. Yeah, but so good. Still, I mean, it's in my top 10 favorite films. It's a 4K master with 2K digital restorations of 6 of his short films. That's how good it is. It's a great box set. It's trippy in design. It has a booklet that is gigantic. And it just has the disc inside. Yeah. Simple. Sometimes it surprises me which films are 4K and which aren't. Just saying. This one's 4K. Midnight Cowboy came out this year through Criterion. Classic 1969 film with Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. Yeah. I haven't gone around to watching it yet. It's Region A. I usually don't watch Region A's for a while. That's my fault, of course. But I'm actually really keen on watching this potentially today. So yeah. It's Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, so this is a obviously famous ass film. You know what this is. Yeah, this is actually 4K. It's similar. It's almost practically identical to Eraserhead in its style, except that this is a poster. You got the graphic zombies on the back, reaching out to you. They want to eat you and stuff. It's really cool. This is probably one of my first ever Arrow videos. Reanimator. This is also a 4K restoration, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing it. And yeah, it's classic science fiction film, and Reanimator. Got the original artwork, Lovecraft story, and everything. It's really good. This is a 2-in-1 thing. So RoboCop and Rocky, newly remastered. These again from JB, 1-disc editions, and it doesn't even say it. It's so ridiculous. These are 4Ks. They've got a whole bunch of special features and everything, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And they're 4Ks, and it doesn't say it on the packaging at all. I'd give you evidence because it's so hard to look at it. Like, if it focuses, yeah, like there's a lot of detail, but there is nothing that says, oh, it's a 4K. I might 100% be wrong, but I know because I looked up on the website Blu-ray.com and actually reviews all the films, of course, and actually tells you that's from an original 4K. So it looks really good though. Oh, actually. That was meant to be the last one, but I added 2 more to my list afterwards, post the fact. This one's from JB. I got this like 2 weeks ago for Dad. Hasn't even opened it from its plastic yet. This is Saturday Night Fever, the director's cut, and is actually 4K. So I expect it looks really goddamn good. I wouldn't know. And last but not least, because again, I have a lot of these films, The Deer Hunter. They have released this in an actual 4K itself, but they're not selling it at JB, so I just got this one instead because I'm like, I have the DVD, I haven't actually watched it yet, and this is a 2-disc edition, and it's the 4K. It's a 4K 40th anniversary remastered. Apparently it looks exceptional, so keen to watch it. Except for how the fact 3 hours, see, that's just all these damn films, 3 hours, the fuck do they think they're doing? Yeah, so that's what I got. That's all the 4K transfers I've at least got currently. I will be going into detail, of course, as to what my actual 4K UHD Blu-rays are at the end of the year, or sooner than that, but I'm expecting some John Carpenter ones to come in soon, so I'm waiting for those to be released, and for those to come in as well. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. There is a whole collection of videos like this where I go over my favourite films, my favourite Blu-rays, my favourite DVDs, without falling over, box sets, VHS. Because I can, and I need the material. Needed the video material, nothing else. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Cool. Yeah. I have a lot of films. Yeah.